Here it goes.
Good morning. It's Ginny and Tim at DSTech in our winter wonderland in the UP.
Yes.
Let's talk about cyber resolutions.
Yeah.
I had to say I don't do resolutions, but we'll talk about that at the end because he's actually got a point that we're going to get to that means the same thing as me not doing resolutions. So anyway, do you do resolutions for your business? Do you do resolutions for your cybersecurity, for your cyber world and your business? Drop what your top resolution is or your top promise that you're going to take care of this year. So
yeah,
what are your goals? Let's hear them. All right, so let's get into it.
So kind of a little blurb
resolution
here.
number one?
Yeah, the start of the new year is when people, reset habits, health goals, finances, organization, and cybersecurity should be no different. Just like winter sports, security is not about one perfect move. It's about preparation, consistency, and reducing the chances of a serious fall. We're going to focus on some realistic security resolutions that you can do and take action, whether it's for personal or primarily business, and that you can do to improve your posture there. So the biggest one that I will tell anyone, if they haven't already done so yet, is get a password manager. That's the biggest thing because there's so many accounts now and so many, passwords all over there, and it's very easy to you just add an extra number at the end or slightly vary your password for each account, and that unfortunately is not the most secure method of having it. The best password is a completely jumbled up password.
I think keeping it on a spreadsheet is the most secure.
Yes. Yeah.
Just kidding.
Put all your passwords in a spreadsheet that says, "Here's all my important passwords. Don't click me."
Or a Word document.
Yes.
About a Google Keep note.
Well, the biggest, misconception people have is they think that the browser, when it stores your passwords, is a secure password manager. Like if you're using Chrome or Edge or Firefox, whatever you're using, when you log into a website, it says store your password for later. Most, like 99% of people just hit yes because it's easy, right? I get it. I did the same thing too before I did all
That's
this
why I raised my hand. I was like, yep, that's me.
But the biggest thing is if anyone ever gets into your system, that is the first thing that they're able to extract and crack open is the browser's password. So that now they have basically a whole book of all your accounts that you've stored. So you don't want to store them in the browser. You want to get away from that. And by using a dedicated password manager, it's a secure way of doing it. And it can function just like you're used to. Because the biggest thing that you may get is, well, I like just having it in the browser because I go to the website, it fills it in for me. I just click next.
This fills it in too.
The password managers are designed to have an extension, and the extension will function similar where it can pre-fill your passwords. When you set up your new password, you can actually use it to help create a new password on the spot. It's actually very useful. So get over the fear of like keeping your password somewhere else, and it's definitely the biggest thing you can do.
I will say it's kind of a pain to set it up in the beginning, right?
Yeah, the initial overhead can be like daunting. You're like, I got 100 accounts.
Exactly.
Where do I start?
I know.
Start with age, go alphabetical. But no, if it seems like a lot, but as you go through it, and then the amount of time you're going to save on these subsequent logins, it's going to pay for itself within a month. So don't be well, and
not to mention how much it would cost if somebody did get access.
Well, yeah, that's the worst case scenario.
So
but I'm just saying, hopefully no one breaches you or gets your stuff. But even if they didn't, the time savings just by having everything stored securely, and it's the peace of mind can be useful.
I mean, what's cool about ours is I have the personal version on my phone and on my laptop. So
yeah, you got both business and then you can add personal ones in the separate little vault or second area that is stored separately as well. Yep.
Yeah. Anyway.
It kind of goes hand in hand with number two. Resolution number two is to review the accounts. Make sure that your MFA is set up on all your important accounts, really every account, but everywhere account that's important, prioritize that first.
MFA.
Multi-factor authentication. So when you're signing in, you got your password in your email, you have the little either text message or there's a code on your phone or you got to hit the button. There's all different ways of doing it, or fingerprint. Just have some sort of secondary layer of authentication to prove that it is you when you're logging into your accounts. And
it's called multi-factor because it's more than just two.
Sometimes it could be two. Sometimes you put your email and your password, then you do your fingerprint, and then you do your number code, and then you got to do your fingerprint again, and then you scan your iris, and then you're finally in, right? So sometimes depending on how secure you want to get with it, you can. But yeah, typically it used to be just two, but now there's multiple.
It's multiple.
Yes.
That's why we call it MFA.
Yep. And then you want to rotate your passwords as well. Now, some places will say you don't need to rotate your passwords if you have MFA. It's kind of a discussion point, this, that, and the other thing. I'm still of the old school, I guess, thinking that if my password hasn't been changed in an entire year, I take the beginning of the year as to go through all my important accounts, and I just rotate all my passwords, change password, make it a new one. And
but if you have a password manager, you only have to change one.
Yeah, and then you can change a bunch of them, if you're your main one. But I like the individual accounts. I still like to do them anyway because if any of those accounts were ever scraped in the past and you haven't changed your password, that password could be reused. What attackers will do is they go on all these forums and they see all these emails and password lists and they try all the different passwords. And with AI technology now, they can try every single one of your passwords really quickly and do all this stuff. So I am of the idea that I never like to ever reuse any password ever, and then once a year change them just in case. I forgot that one account that was my old Facebook password that I never changed, and now they got that, and it happened to be the password that I used on Amazon 6 years later or something. Just changing them every single year and keeping them in the manager.
But your password manager helps you do that anyway.
Oh yes, because your password manager, it'll tell you this password hasn't been changed in 3 months or 6 months. Sometimes it even tells you how long it has been since it's been rotated. And then using the password manager, you can easily, new password change, click, 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 new password input, update, done. And so it makes the whole process of having to send the email, get the password, do the new password, verify the password. It can make it a little bit easier and keep it in one area. Makes it a little bit easier. So that's one thing I still like to do is rotate every email and password if possible, at least on your high value accounts for sure. Number 3 would be your security awareness and phish training. So this would be like for your businesses. So we will send you fake emails on purpose to see if any of your users click on the link, and rather than be an actual virus, what will happen is it'll just say, oops, you've been phished. Try to look at this next time. It has usually a follow-up training for them to go through as well. And so that's the biggest return on investment you can do. We see businesses that don't have any sort of security awareness training or phishing emails. They users click on stuff, and that's still like the #1 vector for ransomware and how things get into your company. So if you can stop it at the door, that's the best, again, return on investment you're going to get. And we see, I think it's a reduction of like 50% click-through rate after like 3 months. So after 3 months of doing this and sitting the users, you never want to really harm someone with shame or anything, but when you click the link, I click the link, so you're like, oh darn it, I clicked the link again. You don't want to click the link again because you kind of have that, and so it reinforces that a little bit.
Works.
Don't shame them. Use it as a training opportunity. Everyone clicks it, but that's just human nature. No one wants to click the link and be the one that's like, oh, I got to take the training again. But it will really reinforce that, and they'll second guess every time they click now, and that's what you want. So
because I didn't want to watch the 15-minute video again.
Yeah.
So and it's super important to have that, because I don't know, I see lots of businesses out there that don't have any kind of onboarding for their young employees.
That's the thing, the newer employees, you're not usually getting phished as much on your smartphones, or like kind of like a walled garden. Everything just works on a smartphone now. And then you go into like a business world where you have all these things can maybe not go so smoothly, and then you have to really be on the lookout and on the defense, and having that training really helps with
they're clicking them and they're falling for the scams.
$25 gift card if I do this LinkedIn survey, done.
Right.
Crap, anyway. So getting ahead of your compliance and cyber requirements is also something that you should think about. So if you got your cyber insurance renewals and it happens to be in June, don't wait till May to start figuring it out. Sometimes you can ask them ahead of time, hey, this year, is there going to be any new additions that we're going to have to look for on our cyber insurance? Because you know as well as we do that every year they seem to add a little bit more in security to stay compliant, because they want people to have, quote unquote, a good driving record or a good security posture before they insure them. That's just what the industry is going towards. So if you ask them ahead of time, you can kind of plan and get yourself there without stressing about rushing and getting it in place really quickly right before the renewal.
Or if you're thinking about getting cyber insurance.
Yeah, if you don't have it and you need it, reach out, see what the requirements are, and then we can help you become compliant and get everything checked.
Yeah, because sometimes those checklists are pretty intense.
We can't fill them out for you.
No.
We can help get your stuff ready and get you in a good spot.
We can help you
figure it out. You're confident and you can
we can tell you what all the letters mean.
Yeah, exactly. And then if you have frameworks, like if you're in HIPAA, like medical, or your CMMC, those things are changing. You're getting more teeth this year too. So getting ahead of those and seeing what the changes are and making sure that you're compliant with them. Maybe a lot of times it's just adjusting your processes slightly and things, but making sure that you are in alignment with them is very important. And planning ahead of the time is better than trying to react to something that is not correct. So Lastly is usually a hardware infrastructure inventory, where at the end of the year, usually it's a good time. You know, if you got extra revenue, maybe you can spend it before tax hits, whatever. You're kind of doing your budget, all that good stuff. And this last year, we've been good with it because of Windows 11 kind of forced a lot of people to get newer computers that, you know, were kind of limping along, but you just had to have it because of the requirements. But think outside of just workstations. Think about printers, access points, firewalls, switches, any other hardware or network infrastructure. Maybe you want to redo your cabling finally that's been getting old in your building. You know, just think about
your network closet is a disaster.
Yeah, maybe you want to clean up your network closet. You know, things like that. It's a good time to do that, where you might be a little bit slower with like as far as staff in the building, and you might have a gap where we could get in there and maybe do some stuff. Won't be as disruptive. And again, you know, it's a good time.
If you don't follow us on Facebook, I should do another before and after.
Oh yeah, the before and after rack pictures are pretty.
They're pretty impressive. Yeah, I think they
do a
look
good job.
really nice. They do a good job.
So really, you know, take this time of year to go through and just kind of make those resolutions. Now, realistically, what I like to say is don't make resolutions, just make a new habit. You know, don't wait till the year to make the change and all this stuff. Realistically, this is stuff hopefully you've been thinking about doing, and maybe you're just going to take this as the initiative.
Maybe you've been taking baby steps. Just keep taking them.
Yeah, maybe all you're doing right now is the email phishing, and that's it. And then you're going to start doing extra on top of that. That's perfectly fine. You have to
start with the passwords.
Yeah, password manager and MFA for sure.
And then I would say the next most important thing is the phishing.
Because that's how they always get compromised.
I mean, super important.
If you just do those two things, you're already a step of a lot of people too. So cybersecurity does not require perfection. It just requires consistency. So by committing to a few practical New Year's resolutions using a password manager, enforcing MFA, and training your staff, organizations and individuals alike can dramatically improve their security posture. Like winter sports, success comes from preparation before conditions get difficult. Start the year strong, and the rest of the season becomes far more manageable. So again, just you know, build that habit, and you know, security, once you get it in place, it's almost like a mindset and a culture shift. It's a journey, and it's a thing that you're constantly doing. It's not just like, oh, I'm going to get this and then we're done. So just keep that in mind. And
don't get overwhelmed by the big project or the big picture, right? You just take the little steps, the little habits, because small hinges open big doors.
Yep. No, that's a good one for sure.
So, and you know, it goes with everything that we're going to do for New Year's, right? Mm-hmm. Start with something small, like if it's your health, start drinking a glass of water in the morning. You know, just little things.
And the biggest thing is your account access and your passwords. So again, I do like the fact that if you get the password manager and you just do your multi-factor on everything,
start with that.
Start with that. And then you got a good foundation. Then you layer on the fake emails and start going from there. You can start layering as much as you really want, but you got to start somewhere. So
start with something. Drop in the comments what the very first thing that you're going to do, what you're going to change in your habits, in your business, and have your employees change. So let us know what it is, and then reach out if you need any help or if you'd like our free security assessment, which you can find on our website. See you next time. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all of it. Have a great day.
See y'all.